I'm making a video game. You might have heard of it, it's called Reiterate, and you should wishlist it on Steam. Unless it's already out, and then you should just go and buy it, also on Steam. It's the polite thing to do. Throughout the process of making Reiterate, I've been chronicling my adventures of creating it through a devlog series, which you should also go and watch. It's why many of you are here, in fact. And I'm currently working on the next episode, which is talking about sound design. Because I've just done the sound design for Reiterate. It's currently out with some hand-picked tester people who, I'll be honest with you, I picked because they say nice things and my ego is very fragile. Don't forget to hit that like button. And as I was doing it, I was thinking, I don't know anything about sound design. I've made a lot of video games, and the most thought that I've ever put into sound design is, like I assume like many of you, I open up a program called BFXR and I click the jump button and then I save it and that's my jump noise. So I thought if I'm going to do sound design, I should probably try and learn sound design. Like, I'm doing Reiterate properly, right? I'm trying to make it a proper video game that looks like it was made by someone who knows what they're doing, which is incredibly difficult to do when you don't know what you're doing. So what I thought I'd do is educate myself. So I did some research, I got on YouTube and I found these two videos they were put out by Wired, and it's sound designer people analysing famous video game sounds and what they mean and how good they are as sounds and why they work and all this stuff. And I thought, oh, that'd be good. Little side note, it also features Tommy Tallarico, who I only really know because he was trying to sell me some sort of wobbly controller family console or something, and I forgot that he actually had a job before trying to shill me something that you could get on Wish for £2.60. I'm kidding, Tommy. You are a infectiously passionate man, and I'd probably get an Amico or whatever they're called just for the novelty of it, if I'm honest with you. Anyway, so I'm watching this video and something occurred to me. These people in these videos are sound designers, which is the reason that I was watching the video, right? But something clicked in the back of my head that's like, no, Zane, they are just sound designers. That's all they do, all the time. That is their job. I started to think, well, hang on, these people get paid full time, like Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. That's their job. They just do this one thing. They do the sounds of a game, right? That's what they do. That's what they're employed to do. And I thought, what I'm trying to do now, by doing the sound design for Reiterate, is I'm trying to make up for the work of someone who has trained, practiced, evolved, developed their craft and their skills, whose passion is explicitly for this one thing. They are sound designers. That's what they do all day, every day. And that got me thinking about all the other jobs that we do as solo game developers that are otherwise taken up by like one person, or even like a team of people doing that one thing day in, day out for 40 hours a week. And I thought, how mad is that we as solo game developers, we have to do full-time work of like upwards of, let's say minimally, you have a team of people and like one of them does the programming, one does the graphics and one does the music. Let's say it usually doesn't break down like that, but let's say you've got 3 people to comfortably make a video game. And because they all kind of do something that the other people maybe aren't as good at. We all know how good I am at graphics. So you are at the very least doing the work of 3 people, which is 120 hours a week if you were doing it full time, which as a solo game developer you're probably not, because a lot of us, I know I have to put on top of that my actual full-time job. So I already work 40 hours a week, and then on top of that I'm doing all this other stuff. And it just started to kind of click with me, like, it's mad that anyone gets anything finished. And I wanted to make this video because I wanted to kind of get this message out that, like, if you are a solo game developer, like me, and you've ever got to a point where you think, I can't do this, like just the sheer amount of work that you've got left to do before the thing is done, right? And you're at this point where it's just like the mountain of work that is in front of you is from here to the stratosphere, and somebody's nicked all your climbing tools, and there's no Sherpa, and there's definitely no donkeys, right? You're just staring up at this thing that you've got to do all by yourself, and you've thought, how the hell am I supposed to do that? The truth is, you're not. You are not supposed to do it. And this led me to looking at games that we traditionally consider as solo game developer projects, right? So stuff like, if you look at Celeste, because everybody loves bringing up Celeste whenever I talk about anything. So we'll look at Celeste. This is the credits list for Celeste, which we all associate primarily with Maddie Thorson. Is it Maddie Thorson? The person who made Celeste. But there's a lot of people involved, as it turns out. There's many people, and you know, even if you think about Super Meat Boy, Ed McMillan's kind of the face of Super Meat Boy or whatever. But that wasn't, he did the graphics and I think the level design, and then it was programmed by somebody else whose name I've forgotten and I feel really bad now. I think his name was Tommy. I'm sorry if you ever see this. And there's so many of these, what we consider solo game developed projects, that when you look at the credits list for them, they're not. Even if it's something like VVVVVVV by Terry Kavanagh. Terry Kavanagh is a career solo game developer. But VVVVVV, he didn't do the music for VVVVVV. Even someone like Terry Kavanagh, there are things that he can't do. And so he outsources them to somebody else, which is actually what I've done with the music for Reiterate, but you know, you'll have to watch the devlog for that. And if you want to see the devlog, then you should probably subscribe so you don't miss it. See how I work that into the conversation naturally. I'm so good at YouTube. Please like this video. So the takeaway that I wanted to kind of get across to you is, if ever you're feeling like what you're trying to do isn't possible, you're right. It shouldn't be. But you're doing it anyway. And I know that sounds weirdly negative, but I take a lot of solace in that fact, that I'm trying to do something that historically not that many people do. You know, even with Reiterate, I'm not making it by myself. I've got someone else to do the music. So it's kind of important, I think, for you to give yourselves a break. And if you're feeling overwhelmed with the amount of work and you're feeling distressed at how little progress you're making, you're doing okay. Because you're doing something that people aren't really supposed to do. And the other thought that it put me onto was, I think I've mentioned this before. There's a guy, I assume, I don't know, I haven't researched this, I assume there is somebody at Rockstar who is responsible for the fact that the horses in Red Dead Redemption 2 will poo in a realistic fashion. That's a full-time job that someone got paid for. 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, 40 hours a week, horse poo. It's the price of modern technology. You are doing great, right? If ever you're feeling bad about your progress and you're a solo game developer and you're on your own and you're just looking at what's left to do and you're thinking, Jesus, how am I going to do this? Just remember, you're not supposed to. You probably weren't supposed to get this far, but look what you've done already. And it sounds weirdly positive for me. I know, I'm generally a cynical, monotone, depressed human being. It's fine, it's kind of my brand, I'm good at it. But I do think this is something worth sharing, because it's something that just came to me when I was just like, I've got to be a sound designer now. And it's like, there's just another job I'm going to take on. Cool. Keep that in mind the next time that you're staring at your project and you're thinking, why is there still so much to do? Why haven't I made more? Why aren't I doing more? Chill. You'll get there. You'll get there a lot slower than a team of even 2 people would get there. But you will get there because you had the drive to get to the point that you're at for now, and I don't imagine you're going to stop. And then you'll get to the end and you'll be like, I can't believe I've made a game by myself, which is sort of magical, really. Oh, and on a quick note, I know some of you who are very old people, like me, will maybe respond to this by saying, well, what about the 80s? What about the bedroom coders of the 80s, of the UK subculture that often gets overlooked when we're talking video game history? What about them? These people on their own programmed games from scratch on ZX Spectrums and Amstrad CX220 refrigerator toasters or something. Yeah, but those games look like this. They did not look like this.
Once I finish pouring this primordial flood over Earth, the black hole will change the world.
The gulf has opened up, and what people expect now is greater. What you expect of yourself is greater than what those guys were doing. And the truth is, you should expect less of yourself. Because like I said, you're doing the work of like a multiple number of people in a single team working full-time Monday to Friday. And many of you are holding down jobs and school and life. You'll notice life tends to be the last one I mention, because when we're doing this sort of thing, it seems to be the least important. So go easy on yourself. Give yourself a break. You're doing great. I'm doing great. I've made this video for myself, really, haven't I? Yeah, I have. But I mean, if you got some value from it, then like this video to tell me you liked the video that you liked, and then subscribe for more videos like the video you liked since you liked it. And I'll see you the next time I'm thinking, hey, let's talk game design. This is the part of the video where I would normally give you footage of whatever I've just been talking about, and then I put the cards. You know how YouTube has cards. This is just going to cut spontaneously after about 20 seconds so that, you know, I've got some footage at the end to put the cards on, because you have to do the cards. So just look at my hands doing this.